Hello, my name is Jahan. I am working as a senior research associate at BRAC Institute of Governance and Development near BRAC University. I have been doing research on online gender-based violence and backlash against gender justice activists under the Countering Backlash Reclaiming Gender Justice program in partnership with Institute of Development Studies. Today, I would like to highlight some of my research findings and the threat digital space is posing against gender justice and some of the key challenges of digital activism. Currently, Bangladesh is seeing rapid growth of internet use as well as social media use, and Facebook is the most popular social media platform here, and almost 68% Facebook users are male. But as we are seeing currently in global, that Facebook is being used as a platform to talk about human rights, to talk about gender justice, and it is a important medium of mass mobilization and protest. But at the same time, it is sheltering violence against women. So we wanted to understand the violence happening here in the digital space, which is often a manifestation of backlash against women's rights. Our findings showed that all the forms of violence faced by women in this platform have some common nature and they are interrelated. The most common form of violence was sexually explicit hate comments directed to a specific body parts of women. These are followed by name calling and labeling these women as prostitute, as sex worker, vulgar, and the post advocating for women's rights were delegitimized through haha react that this feature Facebook has. And this haha reaction and all these comments would come with a male validation where perpetrators would define what ideal feminism is, what ideal women's right is, and they would decide who is credible enough to talk about which issue. There is also a significant amount of religious and moral policing against women, where perpetrators would bring in religion to bring in religion to criticize women for their clothing preference, for lifestyle, for their personal choices like relationship or marriage, and their opinions. And in extreme cases, this harassment would lead to rape threats and physical harm. And we wanted to explore why this is happening. So we found that there is this term ideal women is often used to control women. This construction of ideal women would create also create a negative alternate image that is called the other. So this separation of ideal and other would justify discrimination, stigmatization, and violence against women, particularly against those who do not follow the heteronormative norms, who would not behave or act the way society would expect it from them. So women who would spoke vocally, outspoken in public space, they would speak on confidently about issues such as sexuality, consent, or violence, domestic violence, or rape. So when they do not fall under this societal conditioning, they would face this violence and be victim of backlash. So besides women, gender activists, feminist activists, or lawyers, journalists, media personalities, there are men who are also victim of backlash. So these men are those who support feminism or support women's rights, would face backlash. And there are people of gender diverse group who are also victim of backlash when they talk about their right or simply express themselves. As I mentioned before, sexuality, rape, marital rape, consent, domestic violence, bodily integrity, one's choice of clothing, relationship, marriage. These are some of the issues that will trigger the backlash most. We wanted to identify some general profiles of perpetrators. It was quite challenging, but our research suggested that these people are mostly young boys and men age ranged from early 20s to mid 40s. Women, in some cases, women are also the perpetrators when the discussion is about parda or the chastity of women. Unfortunately, there are very few preventive mechanisms. Women could either restrict their comment section or restrict the share audience of any content. Some media personality, they can use page moderation. Some activist group also, but not everyone can afford it. And there is this reporting mechanism, but we found that perpetrator use the report option better. In our respondent informed us that their pages got banned from Facebook as the perpetrators reported they're well organized, they're large in number, and they reported, multiple times. So their pages got banned. The activist page got banned. And there are some special features that of writing. There are way of writing the comment using special characters or using symbols so that Facebook's algorithm cannot identify these comments as offensive, and so they do not violate the Facebook community standard. So they would, these perpetrators would get, they would not identify their comments would not being reported, so they can actually benefit from this technology. So these standards were created by Facebook to reduce harassment and to protect the users, but actually they are in return being used by these backlash actors to harass women further. So I'd like to conclude with the fact that digital space is emerging as a new space that forced violence as well as forced activism. But we need to identify the severity of this violence, because this is shrinking women's opportunities, women's rights and autonomy. This is shrinking the civic space for promoting the gender justice, and this effect, it also has this immense psychological trauma to the activists, to the people. It demotivates women to continue their presence. It intimidates people who want to enter this digital space, who want to advocate for women's rights. So we need to create evidence as much as we can, and we need to address this violence with proper legal framework, with integrity, and to understand the severity. I would like to stop here. Thank you for the opportunity to talk in this Digital Right and Inclusion Forum 2022.